What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bono's Gamers, episode 15.
15. Wow.
Yes, we're on 15 now. Yeah.
Congrats,
it's been
man.
fun. It's been fun.
15.
I know it's not that big a number.
It's a good number. Most people stop after 10. Like most podcasts or whatever, they don't go past 10. So
that's true,
man.
That's true, because you're like, you know what, this is nobody's watching, this isn't working, and you give up. People give up on things too early, don't you think?
Too early. Yeah, 100%. 100%. We need some sagacity out there, some stick to it nifs.
That's right. Just commit to something, give it the old college try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Amy. How's it going? Glad to have you here. Looks like we already got a few people watching, and that's awesome. Make sure you say hey in the chat. But Zach, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Glad to be here. Had a pretty easy Memorial Day. Had the day off, thank the good Lord. And watched Dune 2 finally.
Did you now?
Yeah.
Was it as good as Dune 1?
It was better, in my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you watched it yet?
I haven't seen it. I saw that it was on Max.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised it made it there so quickly, but I did add it to my watch list or whatever. So nice. I'll probably watch it pretty soon, but it's kind of long, isn't it, too?
It's 2 hours and like 46 minutes. So it's a trek to be.
That is.
Yeah.
That is a trek. Yeah.
But I will say it doesn't feel that long.
That's good.
Like it was well paced. I didn't feel like, okay, come on. Because there's a lot of movies, even an hour and a half, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're dragging. But this one did not feel that way.
So we watched, I've never seen this before, and I kind of wish I had just stopped it because I wasn't enjoying it. Neither was my wife. I can't even remember. The Other Guys, I think is what it's called, is Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. They're like detectives or something.
I watched that in college when I wasn't saved, so it was a lot more funny then.
Right. Yeah, I bet it was, because that was part of my problem with it. There's some crude stuff in there.
Yeah.
I didn't really enjoy that much, but anyway, we made it through, and it was not as funny as I had hoped that it would be.
Yeah.
That's the thing we watched this weekend. I saw Madam Web was up on Netflix though, and
not for me. Not for me.
No, me either. Yeah, what happened to movies, man? They used to be good, so good, and now so many of them are just not that great.
It's sad, and I feel I saw something on TikTok earlier where like the movie industry is like the bubble is bursting because everybody went so hardcore into streaming services.
Yeah.
And now they don't have any money. All like the venture capitalists are pulling money out and they're struggling. Because everybody's like, well, there's nothing good to watch. And the reason why Netflix was so cool and why people went from cable to it was you could go there and watch everything.
Right.
And now that's not the case because, NBC's not going to put their shows on there. They're going to put it on their own service, Peacock. And that's the problem.
It has been interesting watching some of them share things. Like I've seen, what was it? Well, so Peacock technically owns Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but the first 4 seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine are on Netflix right now.
It's so annoying because me and Amy jumped on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's so good.
It's so good. 4th season ends, and we're like, "Where's the rest of it?"
that's when it actually got sold to NBC. It was on Fox, and they were going to cancel it, so NBC bought it, and they did the next couple of seasons. And honestly, it wasn't as good. But it ends on a cliffhanger on season 4. That's really frustrating. If you can't watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
So, but those first 4 seasons are awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah, really hilarious.
The last season I would pretty much skip unless it's like the last episode. That's the only episode I watched from the last season. Because the rest of it's like COVID and all of that, and it's like I don't want to relive this.
Yeah. 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 Well, hey man, Falcon Tactic is going to be here in a minute. He's doing something. I don't know. He's a little late, but we can go ahead and start talking about what you've been playing. I know you said you haven't played. You told me before we started you haven't been playing as much. But
when I list out the things that I have played, everything that I said before the show, it's going to sound like I was lying, but I have actually played a good bit of things, but just not as much as I would want to. I finally beat Sea of Stars.
Okay. How many hours would you say that took you to finish? Do you have any idea?
Probably 20, 30 hours, something like that. It wasn't bad for an RPG. I didn't take my time on it. It might be even less than that. I don't know. I spread it out a lot. And I was at the last fight and I was like, okay, I'm going to take a break from this. I wish I would have never done that because the emotional impact wasn't as much. But yeah, highly suggest the game if y'all want a amazing. I know I've said it like every time I talk about this game. Yeah, it is such a good game.
Yeah.
I've played a little while on Little Kitty Big City. It is really a ton of fun.
Really? That's on Game Pass, right?
It is on Game Pass. It's also on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
It is really cute. It's a lot of fun. The controls are pretty intuitive.
Okay.
There's a lot of different things you can do within the city, the cat controls, and just the humor that is built into the game is really well done. So if you're looking for something that's low stakes, you can just explore the world. Highly suggest it because the zaniness that's in that is really, really good, and I definitely want to go back and play more of it.
I was kind of the title is heartwarming. There's something about the title that like draw me in. I'm not like I've never played a cat game in my life, you know. Same. Well, actually, I take that back. I think I played Cat Quest 1, a little bit of it, just to try it out on mobile or something. But other than that, I don't think I played a cat game. Amy says it's really funny and cute. I'm gonna have to check that out.
I think around the kids and everything, it would be a perfect game.
Really?
Yes. Like it is simple controls. Everything is very clean. It's funny. You can trip people up and steal their sandwiches. You can make them drop their phones. Like it's all this this little things, and you can get little hats for your cat. And they're one's like a dumpling, another is a grape. Like there's so many. Those are the collectibles in the game. It's such a good game.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out then.
Yeah, and then
Big City.
I started Mass Effect 1. I played it back in the day. I love Mass Effect 1 is my favorite game of all time.
Really?
So yes, of all time.
Most people like the second one the best. You like the first one the best.
I like the first one the best because it has the better story. The second one has way better gameplay. I want her especially like how like the powers would literally like warp around. Like you could kind of, what was that movie with Angelina Jolie and where you could like bend the bullets?
Wanted.
Wanted. So I'm replaying it. I'm showing my age over here. It's like, Wanted, the hit movie success
with James McAvoy. Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman.
I forgot he was in that. Yeah.
Playing the Legendary Edition, the game looks pretty good. The eyes are a little weird. But I think it still holds up story-wise overall. I've been playing that on the channel a little bit. And then last Tuesday, I jumped into Fallout 76 to test it out because I watched the Fallout show, which is really, really good. Highly suggest it. I've played various things, but not as much time as I want to.
Yeah, you have.
You're like, are you really taking a break from playing?
That's a lot of things. I bought the Legendary Edition a couple of years ago. whenever it came out.
Yeah.
I think that first Christmas, I found it was like half off on sale. I was like, $30 for all 3 of these. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. But I never made it through the first one, unfortunately. I can't remember why. I think I got lost maybe or something. I was like, where am I supposed to go? I don't understand what's happening. And I stopped playing, and then I forgot everything about it.
Yeah, the map system in the first one is atrocious. I will 100% stand behind that. Yeah, it's unless you really love the game, the map can be a killer.
I think that's what it was. It was figuring out the map. I don't know. I got confused, but I have played the third one all the way through, which is weird, but I've told you before, until the PS5 generation, I only had Nintendo consoles.
Yeah.
And the third one was on the Wii U, and played really well on there.
Okay, I was about to ask, like, how did that play?
It really did, but the first two weren't. So, but it gave you like a montage, like a montage at the beginning to fill in the story,
like a comic.
Yeah. It was like a comic thing, and then you might have even made some choices in that comic thing, and then it puts you in the third part of the story. And I had a blast with that game. I loved the multiplayer online too. I thought that was really fun. I played that a bunch. I probably put 100 hours into that game. But yeah, the first one I was excited to go back and see the whole story, and but I don't know, it's also a lot of time, and time is always too short, I feel like.
I definitely agree, especially like a book I will reread, a movie I will rewatch every now and then, except if it's Inception or The Empire Strikes Back. I will watch them every time, like no questions asked. I will sit down and rewatch those.
Those are good movies. For sure.
But games, I don't go back and play games. Like it is very I can't even. I think Mass Effect's the first time that I've ever replayed a game.
Really?
And it took till now since to replay it.
I have played. Hey, Falcon Tactics, what's up, man?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
man.
good.
Welcome. We're just talking about games we've been playing lately. I have replayed Super Mario Bros. 3 so many times. It's probably my favorite game of all time. But I haven't replayed a whole bunch of games. The only other series that I've really replayed has been the Batman Arkham games. I really like those games a lot. So I've replayed those a few times, except for Arkham Knight. I've only played it once. But I'm ready to replay it. I'm ready now to replay it. I played it for the first time in 2021.
Okay.
And so it's time. I'm ready to do it. But Asylum and City and Origins, I've replayed all of them. I just did a speed run a couple of weekends ago of Origins, actually. Finished it in about 10 hours.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say Origins doesn't get the love that it deserves. The story is amazing.
So it's so
good. The combat a little janky, but the story is amazing.
I think it's my favorite story of all of them is that one. Yeah. What's up? Roro Noah?
Yeah, pretty right.
Okay. Cool.
Close enough.
Nice to see you here.
Cool. No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt.
One of my people.
Falcon, what have you been playing, man?
Well, first of all, I want to comment on the fact that I was listening to your guys' conversation, but I was eating dinner.
Yes. Good. I'm glad you were eating.
I was listening. Dude, oh my goodness. I need to find a better eating schedule right now, bro. Because I start at 12, so I can't eat at 12. And then I try and eat in the middle of the stream, but then it requires me to get up in the middle of the stream and make the food and then come back.
Right.
I could try preparing, like pre-preparing meals, but like a lot of things like that, it just, then I have to get
just
up, like,
have a sandwich
earlier.
In a sandwich bag.
Well, yeah, I could do that too, but that's not enough food right now. They were telling me that since I'm
He's 19,
I need to be eating more. So Yeah, I'm like kind of scrawny, kind of noodly.
Get you a sandwich, and then get you some nuts, unsalted, and you've got like mega protein and fats, like right there.
Yeah.
Boom,
You
taken
gotta
care
get that
of.
protein. You need a big, thick, meaty sandwich. That's what you need.
Yeah, not
And
like
some-
2 slices. We
Hey,
it
nah,
needs-
dude, I'm
no,
chilling.
no.
yeah.
like-
No.
Yeah.
All right,
It depends on how thick the deli meat was cut. Actually,
Yeah.
it could be 2 slices, but that's pretty thick.
True.
Yeah, most of
You
the
need
time
at
they
least-
make the slices very thin.
Yeah,
Like when you get the package.
Yeah, you
at
need
least
like
half
10 of
an
those.
inch.
Mhm.
At least half of an inch of meat. You know,
Half
just
an inch. All
Look,
right. Well, I
Roro
want to
Noah,
comment
he
on the
agrees.
fact that you were saying you were playing Little Kitty Big City.
Mhm.
I actually did end up playing that game for a little bit
Nice.
on one of my members only streams, and that
Nice.
was fun.
Mhm.
I have to say that the Bo, you would like the dialogue of that game. It's very dad joke like. And you would enjoy it.
That's why I said
I-
you would like it, Bo.
Thank you.
I
Thank you so
think-
much. I appreciate that.
No, it's actually really fun. The game looks very adorable. I like the animation style of the game, and the gameplay aspect of it is very creative. I like the way that they thought of how all the controls would fit in. And you're definitely playing as a cat. It doesn't feel like you're playing as like I don't know, like as a human in a cat. You are a cat, and it's fun. I enjoy it. So
Yeah.
I haven't gotten
That's
to play it as
awesome.
much as I'd like to because I haven't really had time. I've been playing Fortnite on my stream, and then when I get off stream, I start editing, and then I help out with the family. And before stream, I'm social networking and editing, so I haven't really had time to play other games other than that. The only really time I have time to play other games is like on Sunday, and I'm like in the evening time. So yeah, but I've been mainly playing Fortnite. They just released their new season.
Is it cool? Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. They added some pretty cool stuff. The collaboration is with Mad Max and Fallout, which is pretty cool. But it kind of takes away from Fortnite because the whole thing of Fortnite is that it's builds. So you're sitting over here driving in a car the whole time. You don't even see players walking around anymore. It's just cars. It's just cars. So like you're like, oh, okay, there's a squad over there. Really, it's just a car. You're not even talking about the squad. You're talking about the car itself. And the cars have turrets and they have these little things on them so you can ram other cars. It's really cool, but I'm worried about the competitive play because how are people going to practice for it? Because they can't play it in ranked or in regular cup.
What
All
is
that kind of stuff.
Zach? What is the name of that game? I can't think of it right now for some reason. It was like an old PS1 game where you're in the cars.
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Is it like Twisted Metal?
Bro, I've never played Twisted Metal. I wouldn't know.
Man, you're missing out. They're supposed to be making another one.
Okay.
There was a TV show all based off of it
Yeah.
Bro, it sounds funny.
with
Amy, I think they are. They're dogging on my humor. That's what it is. And
I didn't say anything of the sort.
No, I'm gonna have to check out that game for sure. Do you guys play storyline games?
yes.
Yeah. Those are my favorite kind of games.
I like games with a good story, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like one of my favorite reasons for playing RPG games. Like RPGs are my favorite genre of games. And one of my favorite reasons for it is normally the story.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So what I've been playing actually is a story game. Well, I started Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
I have actually never played before. So this is a brand new experience for me, and I think I'm on chapter 2, so I've put in, I don't know, like 3 hours or something like that. But so I'm not super far in, but I am enjoying it. The one thing that I don't like, and this is my problem with every Mario type RPG, all the way back to like the Game Boy Advance days and stuff like that, is that they interrupt you so often to tell you how to do things, and it drives me insane because it's usually they take too long to tell you. It's not just like this is where you press R. It's like, hey, I almost forgot to tell you. I'm so glad you haven't left yet. Blah 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 blah. Make sure you press R here, and then blah 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 blah.
Yeah, that or they give you that pop-up menu with like 4 screens on how to tell you to do one simple thing, you know. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Well, this is like a
Yeah,
character will
so
come on the
disappointed.
screen, so you got to wait for him to walk onto the
Oh,
screen, and then they're like,
oh
and
my
they talk for
god.
Yeah.
3 minutes,
Yeah.
and then so
Nintendo
that
definitely
drives
had
me
their
nuts.
process in the olden days.
But other than that, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the game. I know there's some people upset that it's 30 frames per second instead of 60, but you know what? When you're in the game, unless you're comparing them side by side, you can't. I mean, I can't really tell. It's a rock solid 30 frames. It's not like it's dropping down a bunch or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been enjoying it. Zach did some Princess Peach a little while back on stream. Yes, he did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes,
Princess
he
Peach is
did.
good. It's super easy. I'm almost at the end of it, but yeah, not worth $60 though. I will say that.
It's
Not
more like
worth.
a $40 game, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I probably 30 would be a great price for it.
Yeah.
okay. I see it.
Yeah.
So,
I
but
thought it
it-
looked like a $40 game, 30 on sale or 25 on sale or something. But yeah,
yeah,
30 makes sense to me too.
yeah. It's like I guess in this day and age that would be a $40 game, but like it's cute, it's fun to play. The ninja, that's super dope. The like that outfit and everything, but a lot of cool things in there, but not worth the price. I will say that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought like maybe around Christmas time, getting it for my daughter and
Yeah.
my son could play it too. He likes
Oh,
games
yeah.
more than she does.
Yeah. And it's not super cumbersome because I know some Mario games can get, kind of finicky
yeah.
and everything. This is not that way by any means.
Yeah. I haven't thought the 1,000-Year Door has been finicky. It really is a really good game, and it's super fun. It's just and the tutorial, like they space it out just enough. It's like, okay, maybe we're done with that, and then there's another one. So it's the first couple of hours have just been really kind of annoying. Roro Noah, man, why is that so hard for me to say? Is that from One Piece?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. He's playing Uncharted Trilogy.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's very good. It's very good.
Yeah.
I like Uncharted because it is that single player story experience that only takes 7 to 10 hours, and you've played the whole game, and then you can move on to something else, but you've had a really good time. I like games like that. We don't have enough of those these days.
I think
Hello, Tej.
2 is my favorite out of the trilogy. 4 is definitely my favorite out of all of them. But 2
you guys are
really
probably
good.
gonna hate me, but
I
haven't played any of them. Listen, it's not that I haven't seen anything on them. I just want to clarify. I have, and I love how the game looks. I actually own one. I own one for the Wii. I think it's for the GameCube, but like either way, we have it on the Wii itself.
Own
It's
what?
one of the Uncharted games that's ported. Anyways, don't worry about it. Don't worry.
No.
What are you on?
I guarantee you.
You fell out of an alternate dimension if you've got a game.
I will literally take a screenshot. Okay, not the point. Anyways, not the point. Not the point.
Well,
okay?
what is?
Are we special? Are we?
You're from an
special?
alternate universe right now.
We
Yeah.
use our Wii for a lot of things. Okay, so I guarantee you, I could take a screenshot.
Look at this.
Not the
Banish
point.
him to the shadow realm.
Yeah.
No. Okay, listen. Are we as
That's where
special?
it came
okay?
from.
Are we as special?
Do you
Not the
have a
point.
jailbroken Wii?
No, not at all. No.
Yeah.
Falcon is not from this
No.
world.
No, he's from a different multiverse. He's like Earth 2 over here.
Bro. Anyways, not the point though.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of gameplay on the Uncharted games, and I actually do want to play one at some point. Once I actually have free time. Like I haven't had any free time as of late. So
Yeah. Well, good game, man. Good game.
Shun
Hey.
the non-believer.
Yes.
Bro.
This is
Leave me.
this
Leave
is
me
the
alone.
ultimate collab. I like that comment. I appreciate that. This is
What's up,
the
Rabbit?
ultimate collab.
Finish him. No, leave me alone. Bro.
That was hilarious.
Like both me and Bo are like, what's
No.
I forgot that not everybody owns the type of system that I have. And then I was like, wait a minute, that sounds so weird when I say it to them, because that does not exist. Oh my goodness! Don't
You
worry
got
about it.
the
Don't worry about it.
Japanese
Don't worry about it.
GameCube. It's regional,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
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 I've only modded my new 2DS XL. I'm definitely thinking of modding my Switch Lite, and on top of that, thinking about the Wii. Modding systems can be a fun hobby, and you can do some really cool stuff with that. So that's cool.
Agreed.
That's cool. I have also, man, I've been playing so many things. To like you, Zach. Well, I don't have any time to, but I still am.
Yeah.
I found this game the other day that I've never heard of before, called 8 Man, like the number 8, but spelled out 8 Man. And it's
Actually about to look that up.
it's a Neo Geo game, and you're like this superhero. He kind of looks like Mega Man a little bit, but it's not
good.
Mega Man. But it's like a beat 'em up basically. But I was having
Oh yeah, no.
fun
Okay, it's
playing
one
it.
of those games. Okay, actually, that was fun.
Some of the mechanics are really cool because you start off and it's like a beat 'em up. You're walking side to side, and once you get everybody in a frame, like it tells you to go forward or whatever. But then you get to the next level, and it says go or something like that, and then you get to the next level, and it turns into you like get super speed, and so you're like super running through this level, but trying to take people out at the same time, and so everything's just going by you. But they'll have like an enemy in the foreground and an enemy in the background, and they're like chasing after you, and so you get like kind of this depth of field to it. The art style, I don't know, it just looked really cool, and I was really enjoying it. I'm gonna play some more of that. What else? I did just the other day. I know I'm forgetting something, but I did just the other day I started Hellblade 2, Senua Saga, and that's not really my kind of game. Let's see what this says. Honestly, my friends always make fun of me how the Nintendo Switch isn't a real console, but to me, it is really grown on me, especially remakes like Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Yeah, the Switch is definitely a real console.
Who are these friends of yours?
Yeah, get better friends, man. No, yeah. I think about games like Splatoon. Like, I know it's colorful and it looks kiddie, but there's like some serious hardcore strategy to Splatoon. Like, it's a really fun game.
I'm pretty sure I've talked about this on podcast before, but I actually have 2 of my brothers who play competitively on Splatoon.
Really?
Yeah, and in their free time when they're not working, they will play Splatoon competitively. They actually had a tournament recently, and I think the tournament is still active. It's like they're having different matches on specific days, but like it's pretty crazy. I was thinking about getting into it on my free time. They're like, whenever we join around like 10 p.m. And I was like, bet I can stay on a little bit longer, play at 10 p.m., make some time for it once I buy the game.
No, it's great. I mean, I had the original one on the Wii U, and it was just I remember first seeing it. They announced it at E3 and showed some like beta footage, and I was like, Nintendo, what are you doing, man? This is not a good idea. But then they had a free like demo weekend. It's just for one weekend. You could play a couple of levels for free. Yeah. And I played it. And it just like stole my heart. I was like, I have to have this game now. And so I got the first one, and unfortunately I shouldn't have done it, but I sold it to buy other stuff, and I shouldn't have. I regret it to this day. But I have 2 and 3 on the Switch, and they're both good, both great. I'm someone who sticks to games for years on end, so I have so many games, but I haven't played most of them.
That sounds like Derek.
It's like a backlog type thing going on here. Yeah.
Derek's
my
backlog
you have it on your Discord status that you're 13, Nora. What do you mean years? Anyways.
Derek's backlog is crazy.
PC kids.
These PC kids, they don't know any better. Yeah. Well, PC's fun too.
Yeah. Well, they don't got those PlayStation exclusives, so.
I bet
The
those
only
friends
time will
play on
tell.
the fake Game Boy remakes.
No fake Game Boy remix is crazy.
What were we talking about? Oh, Hellblade 2.
Mm.
Hellblade 2. So yeah, I started that, and it's not my kind of game. I'm not a horror game guy.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't appeal to me. It's fine if you guys like those. I don't have a problem with it. I just don't really care for them.
Yeah.
But this game, it's kind of been hyped for years. I know the first one was like a big success for them. And so I wanted to at least test it out because I have Game Pass, and so I downloaded it. Yo, horror games are okay. I meant to click on this one. Yo, what's up? Nice to have you here. And yeah, I heard that it was like one of the best looking games that's ever been put out. It's one of our first real Unreal Engine 5 games. Outside of Fortnite, we had that Matrix demo showing off what Unreal Engine 5 could do, a few years ago on next gen systems at that time, and everybody kind of freaked out about that. So this is the first real game that's showing that off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just needed to see it for my own eyes, and it does look pretty good.
Okay, so I haven't asked you guys yet, but do you guys have the new gen consoles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just need to get on the ball.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
old console, and I can't play any of the new gen games yet. So.
When I was 19, like you, I definitely didn't have the latest and greatest things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Derek bought my PlayStation 5 for me, so
Dude, I got my first paycheck from YouTube the other day. Like,
nice.
Hey, that's enough to pay for my monthly subscriptions. Yay! I'm like,
hey, that's awesome.
Good, man.
It's money though.
Yeah,
paycheck
for sure.
So good.
So, Bo, you didn't play the first game, correct?
I didn't play the first game. This game had a video montage, or it had like a narration at the beginning telling about the things in the first game, kind of like in a poetic form.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. So I kind of have some kind of grasp on the game. But no, I did not play the first game.
Okay. I was just curious because I played a good chunk of it. It's really good, but it is the mental health thing is very interesting. I think they handled it really well, and I've wanted to play this one, so I was seeing if you had played it, because there's been a lot of mix of is Hellblade 2 good or is it not, and everything. So I was just curious.
I've been thinking about that, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I kind of feel like a lot of people, even some of these reviewers, went into it thinking it was going to be more like a God of War style game, and it's just not that kind of game.
Yeah,
you move very slow.
Mm-hmm.
At least the parts that I've played so far, you're walking / jogging most places that you're going. You're not super fast, and there's constantly voices talking to you.
Yep.
And they're like moving around you, like these whispers, and it's very kind of disturbing. I mean, really, it's definitely not a game for kids at all. It's very gory at times. But and part of what's interesting about it, I think, is that honestly, from the parts that I played, I don't know which parts were real and which parts she was seeing in her head.
Yes,
I think that's part of the point. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But graphically, I thought it did look really good. I thought that it was a little soft looking on the Series X. And I've heard it just looks immaculate on PC if you have, a good graphics card.
Yeah.
But it still looked great and I had taken a screenshot and now I can't find it. So I was sitting here trying to find it and
So you were stalling. Okay.
it's gone. I don't know what happened to it. I know I had it on my phone. I was going to pull it up and I don't see it now.
Darn.
So yeah, unless I had it not on my phone.
What are you talking about? Sorry, I was reading comments.
A screenshot. I had a screenshot I was going to show just so you could see like kind of what it looked like. But like you can see like the scars on her face, like they have depth, and I don't know. There's just a lot of detail there to look at. So yeah, and the audio obviously is a big component of it. But yeah, I don't know what's real for her, in the game. I don't know. I don't know what's real and what's just in her head. It's very odd. I can't tell if she has like superpowers or if it's just all fake. I don't know if that's explained better in the first game. I just don't know.
No, it's in her head. That's how she views the world and everything.
But are there not people after her?
I don't know. Are they?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Like it starts off, she's been captured on a slave ship. She's trying to get to the slaver's boss because she wants to get revenge on him. But then you get shipwrecked, and then then there's like shadow people walking around and screaming and stuff, and I don't know.
So maybe she's in a coma.
She's supposed to have psychosis, right? So yeah, she's supposed to have some kind of.
No, literally, Rabbit. I haven't seen anything on this game yet. Not gonna lie. I'm nodding my head. I'm like,
Falcon's being a great guest. That's yeah. Like I'm supposed
to point that out.
I played the first
one.
About
this?
Yes.
Yeah. I played the first one. I do definitely want to play this one. But it does bring some interesting things on like what is real, what's in your head, the voices. Like it's interesting because like the voices sometimes will guide you in the right way, and then sometimes they're lying to you.
Yeah.
And
it seems like there's 3, and one of them is always negative, at least from what I could tell. One of them is always putting you down, saying negative stuff and lying to you, and the other 2 are trying to encourage you to go forward. At least I think that's what's happening. I don't know. I couldn't quite tell. There might only be 2 voices, but it sounded like 3 to me. Yeah. I only played about an hour of it. Again, not my kind of game. I'm not going to finish it. I just wanted to see it for myself, since I could and not spend any extra money. I decided to go ahead and do that. But then it got me thinking just about mental health in general. What is going on over here in the chat? Everybody's talking about Spider-Man. We're talking about Spider-Man over here.
Nora asked the question about Spider-Man, and now they're all asking. They're all talking about it.
Spider-Man 2 is great. Zach knows all about that. He loves that game.
I love that game. Game is great.
I liked Miles Morales a lot too. I mean, all 3 of them are great.
Oh yeah,
I loved watching the whole thing.
But again, going back to like Uncharted being so short and succinct, that was the appeal of Miles Morales to me, was that it was a shorter game, but you still had this huge city you could explore. I don't know. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you played Little Nightmares?
Yeah, I have.
I've
only
never
played a little
Little
bit
Nightmares.
of it.
Yeah, I played a little bit of number 1.
Yeah, I went through a horror phase around Resident Evil 7, and then I got out of it. So,
Screenlight says Alan Wake.
I
started playing Alan Wake. I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, and I need to get back to it. Played it for about a week, and it was pretty interesting. A
lot of the games that I don't have time to play, I tend to go watch other YouTubers play through it, so then I could feel like I'm experiencing it.
Right? Yeah.
Because I don't got the money to pay for everything. But yeah,
Remedy is gem. You know what? Remedy is a gem. They make some really good games. I don't feel like they get enough credit, and I hope that they can keep going. So many layoffs.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that recently. I had a friend come over to my house who's trying to get into the gaming industry in creative art design for the characters and such. But with all the layoffs, they said he had a friend himself. They got in there 10 days later. They got fired due to layoffs and budget.
Yeah,
it was a mess.
Yeah, it is a mess. But Remedy, I don't know. I can't remember what all they've made. They made Alan Wake, obviously. They made Control, right? They made the Star Wars games, right? Jedi Survivor and
no, that's
no, that's Respawn.
Yeah, that's Respawn.
Oh, yeah.
Remedy.
Did they make Titanfall 2?
No, that's Respawn.
That's
as well.
Respawn, man.
Alan Wake 2, Condor, Control 2, Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes. Alan Wake, The Nightmare, Quantum Break.
Quantum Break.
Death Rally. So those are all the
I
ones.
played Control, and I really liked that game. That was kind of a horror game. Sometimes I just have to stop and take a bunch of deep breaths and tell myself it's not real. And then go through the next doorway.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember playing Halo, the first one, and the whole flood thing.
The flood.
Yeah, man. Like with all the music and everything. Like now it's fine, but it was like I was 10.
Yeah.
I wasn't that young, but it was like 12 or 13. But yeah, it was just like
it was pretty intense back in the day. Flood showing up for the first time. Yeah. But okay. So did you have something to say, Zach? Oh, I thought you were taking a breath to say something. Okay.
No.
Yeah, you guys man, keep going. I don't know about Red Dead 2. I've never played that.
You got to play it. If you like it, you got to play it. If you've liked the first one, if you like, it's such a good game. The story is amazing, and just going around and doing crazy stuff is really, really fun.
Yeah. I've heard great things. I've just never had a chance to play it. Star Wars Fallen Order I think it was okay. I thought Survivor was excellent. I thought they improved a lot of things in the sequel.
I think the story was better in Fallen Order, but Survivor was, I agree, gameplay wise, the traversal was
so much
trash in Fallen Order. It was so bad. I died bad. so many times from traversal.
They're so fun. Yes, they are. The flood used to terrify me. Yep. And Red Dead is amazing. All right, so Hellblade 2. I got me thinking about mental health, and so I wanted to talk about mental health tonight because I know that that's something that I have struggled with, sometimes more than other times, as life goes. And so I just thought it would be kind of nice to just maybe share, each of us kind of share, if you're willing to, some of our stories with how we've dealt with that, and maybe how God has helped us through that, or how like God's word, the Bible, has helped us through some of those things. And just because I like stories and I like hearing other people's stories, and I especially like hearing people's stories about Jesus. So I have a couple of verses to talk about, but if somebody else wants to go first, I'm fine with that too. Any takers?
I'll go, I guess. So mental health has been something I've dealt with for a long time, especially like anxiety, and which can easily turn into depression and everything. And for anyone that's listening, just know that you are not alone. Like, I think that's the biggest thing that you need to realize. Friends, family, and most of all, God is there with you. The verse that always pops out to me is 2 Timothy 1:7. For God gave us not a spirit of fear, but power, love, and self-discipline. or a sound mind, but I like discipline because you have to discipline your own thoughts. When things pop up in your head, it's your choice to either kind of hold those up and be like, oh, well, this is the worst thing ever. Everybody's going to hate me, whatever it is. It's your choice to focus on that. But God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but power. We have power over things and love. He loves us, and we should love others. And I think that's really important because there were times where I was so depressed and so down where I missed like 30 days of work at one point in time. Yeah. And it's like I would get up and be like, okay, I'm going to go this morning, and literally just start puking because I was so anxious over everything. And I think it's so important when, you are in those moments that that you're not alone. And if you don't believe, that's okay too. There's ways to deal with things, but I think God is the easiest, way to deal with it, instead of just trying to, kind of bolster yourself up and go at it. It's okay to rely on somebody that has bigger shoulders than you, and that's God. And I think that's really important. So that scripture is a big one for me, for sure.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you sharing that. And that's a great verse. For God has not given us a spirit of timidity, but of power and love and discipline. Yeah. Very good. And there it is also.
Boom.
A sound mind. Yeah. Yeah, he does do that. And that's something that I feel like I've noticed, especially in the hardest of times, because there's such a big contrast between my I don't want to say, well, I guess I can say fragile mental state and his strength and the way that he holds up and he lifts up your head. The Bible talks about that too. And yeah.
Well, and I think it's important to realize it's like Jesus did so much for, like, a lot of the stuff he taught on and a lot of things that he prepared the way for was for our mind. Because that's the gateway to everything.
Yeah.
Whatever you worship, if it's worry, you're worshiping something that's negative. It's understanding that it's, getting past the fear and everything, but that's why you read the Gospels so much is focused on your thought life.
Right.
So I think that's important.
It really is. A lot of it is focused on your thoughts. That's a great point. Falcon, you got anything?
Yeah. So in the past, especially during COVID, I think technically you're not supposed to say it on YouTube, not that. But
I think it's okay at this point.
Yeah, well, they still say you're in their terms that you're not supposed to say it. Anyways, not the point. Okay, during that time, my dad specifically, he worked for the government. So when everything went down and we were stuck inside, we were even more on lockdown than everybody else. Like, I don't know how to describe that to everybody else, but like we literally could not go outside the house. And I'm pretty sure like dad was the only one who could go to the store or something like that out of all of us in the house. So we pretty much were just stuck inside. We couldn't have anybody over. Nobody could go outside. And I'm a very extroverted person when it comes to talking to people. So it really took a toll on my mental health, not being able to talk to people or see people. I did have a phone then, and I did have social media, but honestly, it kind of worked more against me because a lot of the friends that I had on there were more online friends rather than friends that I had met IRL that were able to support me with biblical doctrine and just people that can help me. They're awfully quiet. My bad. Here we go. Is that louder? Are we good? Anyways, not the point.
It is louder.
Yeah, it should be fine as long as it's not peaking. Anyways,
No, it's not.
all right, good. But yeah, a lot of the friends that I had IRL, they weren't like they either weren't supportive or I wasn't able to contact them during that time.
Yeah.
So it was a time where basically I was kind of stuck to my own thoughts. I was thinking thoughts like that just other people just didn't really appreciate me because they weren't reaching out to me, type of a thing.
Mm.
And I'd kind of always struggled with that because honestly, I grew up with my mom and dad being the leaders of our school. So like my dad used to be the principal and my mom was the vice principal of the school that we went to. So people never really wanted to talk to us because they kind of put us in this high pedestal type place. They always think that the higher ups always have the best friends, but really it's kind of the opposite. Nobody ever wants to talk to them. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I always felt insecure. But
Yeah.
there was a there like a I don't really have like a specific verse for that friendship portion, unfortunately. But I did realize that at some point, like as I kept on going to church and kept on seeing people that were really living the life that God told them to live,
Hmm.
there was fellowship with those people. Those people really did genuinely care. And so now I have a group of like-minded friends that actually do care about me and do want to talk to me and do reach out to me and I'm able to reach out to them and we're able to talk and build each other up. So I'm glad that things have changed like that and have gotten better because of those godly and Christian relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, and I consider you one of those people in my life.
Thanks.
You're a great friend. And I'm glad that you have people. Yeah, we're not meant to be alone.
Yeah,
Yep.
bro.
We're just not, and we were not built that way or designed that way. And we all need to know that there's people that are there for us.
Sure.
Screenlight here says resist the devil and he shall flee. That's right. Absolutely love that you guys are taking time to speak on these things. Yeah. There's more to life than gaming, and I think we all know that. And so I hope this can be an encouragement to somebody tonight. I have a couple of verses that have really helped me the last few years, or the last, I don't know. Yeah, the last decade or so. One of them is, let's see if I can put it up here. One of them is Romans 8:1, which says, therefore, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. And one of the things that I feel like comes to haunt me from time to time, and it's just it's the devil, but telling me that I'm not good enough, or like I don't deserve good things because of the sin that is in my past or whatever.
Mhm.
And but the truth of God's word says that that there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. And a few years ago, I kind of had this Holy Spirit revelation moment of, well, when is now? Now is right now.
Mhm.
And you never exist outside of now.
Mm.
And so if I'm in Christ, then I am not condemned. And that means that when Satan comes at me and tries to condemn me and get me down, I don't have to listen to that, because that's not God speaking.
Yeah.
That's my enemy who hates me. And I can worship instead. I can worship a God who has removed the condemnation from my life. And so that's really helped my mental health a lot. And then the other one that has helped me a lot over the years is from the book of Hebrews. And you can only share one thing at a time, so I have to do these individually. But it's from the book of Hebrews, chapter 2, and verse 11. And this one's really, this honestly has saved my sanity in the last decade or so, because I have often felt completely alone. Falcon, you're talking about feeling alone and left out and like you didn't have anybody. I've often felt that way. In fact, before I met my wife or started dating my wife, I honestly struggled to think that anyone would ever want to spend their life with me. And that was a fear, and that was a doubt, and that was me looking down on myself like I was not worthy. Like everyone in my life was ashamed of me. And that's how I really felt. And then a few years ago, that got better when my wife agreed to marry me. She said yes. That got better, but it was still lingering in the back of my mind. And then God hit me with this a few years ago and said, for both he who sanctifies and those who are sanctified are all from one Father. So that's Jesus who sanctifies, and those who are sanctified, that would be believers, are all from one Father, for which reason he, Jesus, is not ashamed to call them brethren. And this thought of Jesus Christ not being ashamed of me, I've been ashamed of me.
Yeah.
But Jesus is not ashamed of me in front of the Father, who is holy and blameless, but now through Christ, I'm seen as holy and blameless, and Jesus is not ashamed to call me his brother. Man, that is a liberating thought. It has saved my sanity on more than one occasion. So
yeah.
That's awesome, man. Because I think so many times we get into our heads and we dogpile ourselves, and the enemy is constantly bringing up, well, you remember when you were this old and in this moment you did this and that was wrong, and trying to put shame and guilt on us. That's the currency that he operates with. God doesn't operate like that. Once you ask for forgiveness and you repent, he forgets about it. He doesn't have, that log, it's off the logbook. It's put under the blood that was shed on the cross by Jesus.
Right.
And I think, I feel it harder for some people in this day and age where it's, people can look back, oh, well, you tweeted back here and you said this, and that's not politically acceptable today. And people get canceled for less and everything, but God doesn't do that. God isn't canceling you. He wants to bring you in. He wants to love you. He wants to show you what true family and true acceptance and belonging means.
Yeah, absolutely.
While we're on the topic of friendship, like, dude, the verse of the day today on the YouVersion Bible app was in Proverbs, and you were talking about how like we often get in our own head, Zach. And the verse in Proverbs said, "Worry weighs a person down, but an encouraging word cheers a person up."
Yeah,
so, like, you got to have those friends who will give you that encouraging word too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's some pretty odd. Isn't that so cool? How it just works out sometimes. Like, sorry, I was just thinking about how that verse was just displayed there just today while we were talking about this subject.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh my gosh. Anyway,
nugget,
dude. Yeah, man. It's great, man. I do.
Screen light www. Not today, Satan. That's right.
Good.
That's right. Raboot Falcon trusted me to be his friend on Discord and YouTube, and that meant a lot to him. Yeah. He feels so loved and happy now.
Awesome.
Yeah, we all need that Christian fellowship. We need that fellowship. We just do. And one of the things I noticed in Senua's saga is how alone she is. And then she's having all of these, this mental health problem. And it seemed from the opening cutscene where they described the first game that she was an outcast in her society. And I don't, that didn't help her, in that game, to be isolated from other people. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what else we got here? When you think no one loves you, just remember God does. That's right. And asking, it will be given to you. Seeking, you will find. Knocking, the door will be open to you. Yep, that's right. Yeah, I've even found that to be true in terms of, going back to friendship. I've found that there have been times when I felt friendless and I didn't have like a solid core, like not even one good friend sometimes. But when I would stop and pray about it, it seemed like every time within a week or two, I would meet somebody new and suddenly have like camaraderie in Christian fellowship with someone when I needed it really bad. And
I feel like we could tend to get,
man.
My bad.
Go ahead.
I said I feel like we can tend to get caught up in that thought process where we're trying to find that perfect friend, like that'll be able to like be our best friend and help us in every single situation, and we're just best buddies and we can build each other up, especially for a lot of young people. We want to look for that one person that's going to be the best friend that we've ever had. We're going to be best friends forever and ever. The funny thing about friends, most of them don't normally stick around for a long time. They come in for a season of your life and then they leave for a season of your life. And sometimes it's not due to negative situations, but sometimes it's just, you guys just drift away. God brings that person into your life for a specific time, and,
right?
to build you up during that time, and then he slowly drifts them out of your life, and then brings in new people that you may need to focus on and build them up, or they may need to focus on you and build you up into the person that God wants you to be, because we're always growing.
It's probably a little bit of both. I feel like, we're supposed to be, like iron sharpening iron, and I think that something that I've noticed in my journey is that things do happen in seasons, and you do have relationships in seasons, and then and God moves some people on, and then he moves you on, and you'll have a new group, a new community for a while. And one of the reasons I think he does that is because what I've often found is that whatever I learned in this season is what God wants me to pass on in the next season.
Yeah.
And then while I'm passing it on to whoever's in my community, I'm also learning from that community something new and growing in new ways, so that when I get to the next season, I can pass that on and we can continue. And, it's not just me passing on, it's people passing on things to me as well at the same time. It's an exchange, but it helps me grow while helping other people grow. And then I'm able to help someone else grow in the next phase, in the next season. And it just seems like that is a cycle that continues to happen throughout life. Most people aren't in your life for, the long haul, hopefully your spouse and your immediate family, your parents, but most friendships are seasonal, I would say.
Yeah. There was I think it was Tyler Perry said this. I can't be 100% sure. It's been a long time. But friendships are like trees. Some people are leaves that are easily blown away. Some people are branches that will stay around until there's weight put on them. But then there are a few that are the root system that helps bring life into the tree. And when you have those roots, it's important. But I think there's also an unhealthy relationship with some people that need to be severed, because sometimes you have friends that just aren't good for you. But having, like, I've got one or two roots in my life, but I've had a lot of leaves and they left, and I've had some branches. You put a little weight on them and they snap and they're gone, and it's just like not letting that that feeling of them gone feel like you've been abandoned, because you haven't been abandoned. The people that actually matter are still there and still care for you.
Yeah. There's also comfort in knowing in the fact that, like, if they're Christians, you're going to see them again anyways. And then you're going to have endless fellowship and praise in heaven with God.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Screenlight said 100%. I think he's agreeing with us. And then I've been friends with my friend for 10 plus years, but I feel like we're slowly drifting apart ever since I moved. yeah, moving can do that to relationships for sure. Definitely puts a strain on things. It's harder to stay in touch, and schedules change and things like that.
Yeah.
But trust the Lord, and He will bring new friends into your life. I've lived that out over and over again, so I can say that with confidence.
Mm-hmm. I can back Bo up on that too, bro. I might not be. I might only be like 19 years old, but like, dude, I've experienced a lot in my life. So I got you, bro.
Nice. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys again, as always, for having that discussion.
Yeah, man.
I like taking a good long look at life, and a lot of the people that are around me know that I ask a lot of like self-evaluation questions. Like, I think it's important that we take a look at ourselves, a long look at ourselves in the mirror, and say, okay, what is good and what's not, and what is true and what is false, and what needs to be pruned and what needs to be fertilized, and so I enjoy having these talks with y'all, and I appreciate you being willing to do that in a public forum like this. We'll move on to the last topic for the night. I usually pick too many topics. I said this time, no.
I noticed that when you sent the schedule, I was like, oh, it's simple.
Yeah. I always think that it's going to go too quick, and then we're going to be done in 30 minutes, and we're like, oh, okay, well, bye.
I was so happy I was able to.
It never happens that way.
I was able to join, and I was like, oh my gosh. I actually don't have to do a bunch of research on all the topics.
Yeah, I'm getting better. I'm getting better. We're gonna get there.
Mm-hmm. One day we'll finish on time.
It might be today. Oh, probably not.
I was like,
we'll try.
Maybe.
So I ran not that. Sorry about that. I ran a poll today, and also because I've been thinking about this sort of newer conversation that I've been hearing about online, but it kind of stems from Xbox starting to put some of their what would be first party games on PlayStation and on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And some people being really upset about that, some people not being upset about that. There's a lot of conversation around Square Enix just came out and said, hey, we're not going to be exclusive on Sony anymore because we're not making enough money, basically. And so there's a lot of talk right now about, just doing away completely with console exclusives. And I think that's such an interesting thing, because that's never, ever been the case. As long as gaming has been around, consoles have had exclusives. What does this say? Random question. What are your thoughts on
that's a random question.
Crafting direct sequels from a movie property.
I read that.
What movie would you like to see get that treatment?
The Warriors got a game back in the early 2000s. I never played it, but I remember X-Play talking about it.
Direct sequels.
Do you mean a movie? Instead of getting a movie sequel, it gets a game that is a sequel to its movie? Is that what that means? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Are you talking an adaptation of are you talking like an adaptation as in like they made a game based off of the movie, or are you saying they make a sequel as in the game is a sequel to the movie itself?
We get adaptations all the time. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So he means a sequel to a movie that is a game.
Okay. Yeah.
Similar to Alien Isolation. Okay, I've heard good things about Alien Isolation, so obviously something like that can work. I don't know. I don't know what property I would choose for that.
Raboot. How is that a random question? Sorry, my bad.
Firefly.
Firefly? What's Firefly?
Firefly was a
sci-fi show
that ran for a season, and then they did a one-off movie. But it's like space cowboy kind of thing. They're like smugglers. It's really good.
All right. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I would like that, or even a Cowboy Bebop game, like to continue the story.
Cowboy Bebop game? That would be sick.
Yeah.
I think if they did that right, it would actually be really good.
Yeah.
I think he likes those answers.
Disappointed in me that I didn't know what Firefly was. I think I'm being disappointed. Listen, I'm young, okay? I have excuses.
You were like 3 when that show came out, probably. Firefly was on a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do know about a couple select few things from like my parents' day and age. But like there's not a lot. Okay.
Dude, I was raised on like so many old shows, so
I was raised on some old shows too, but
back in my parents' day.
I'm like, I can't say I was raised on everything. So it's like sometimes like this, I'll be like, okay, I have no idea what that is. I've never even heard of it. Most of the things I have heard of at least. So
have you heard of the Andy Griffith Show?
Yes, I actually watched that. And you know what? It's a W. Oh my
How
god.
about
I love that show.
Gomer Pyle?
Dang it. No, I haven't.
Spinoff.
I haven't heard of it.
It's the spinoff.
It's the spinoff? Okay, no wonder I haven't heard of it. Probably because it's not real. It's not.
It ran. It was a real show.
Okay,
Yeah,
whatever. It sounds like a knockoff. Sounds like the Temu version. Not gonna lie. That's what Bo made it sound like.
What about the Dick Van Dyke Show?
Yes, I know what that is. I haven't watched it, but my parents have explained it to me, so I do know what the show is.
Mary Tyler Moore.
I think I've heard about it. I've heard the name before, but I don't know anything about it.
I Love Lucy.
Yes. Yeah. I Love Lucy. Yes.
Gunsmoke.
No.
Bonanza.
I've heard the name.
The Lone Ranger.
I've also heard the name.
Rawhide.
Nope.
That's where Clint Eastwood got a start. Was Rawhide.
Oh,
how do I not know about that? So sad. Yo, man's giving me a test out here.
I missed my VCR. VCR. Those were the days, weren't they?
Oh my goodness, I miss my VCR. We have so many movies on VCR.
Just plug in your Wii.
My Wii don't have a freaking VCR.
I got it's my Wii.
Hey, listen. I should anyway. Okay, listen.
Just turn off Uncharted on your Wii and pop in your VHS tape.
You don't have the extension cord for the VHS tape?
Oh my gosh. Like, I figured out how to use a VHS tape rewinder and plug that into my Wii so it actually plays the footage on the system. Imagine. I bet there's a way to do that.
Do you know what a CTR is?
No, I don't know what a CTR is.
Like a TV. It's
cathode ray tube. It's old TV.
CRT, not CTR.
CRT. Okay, yeah. I know what a CRT.
See, I was like, you didn't know.
I was like, what? I was like, what?
Do you know what Scrubs is?
Yes.
Psych.
Yes. Oh my goodness, I actually like that one. I love that one a lot.
Really good.
Psych
is really good.
All that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Literally just
anyway,
let's get back to the topic.
Back on topic. Okay, see, look, see, I know some things.
10 minutes of me just grueling him. I got more. Yo, Leave It to Beaver.
World Falcons. Leave It to Beaver. Yes, I was hoping you were going to mention that one. My gosh. Yes, Leave It to Beaver.
What is the topic?
What's the topic? Well, apparently the topic is supposed to be console exclusives being relevant or not. Okay.
Yeah.
So they decided to give me a quiz.
I want to Leave It to Beaver game that takes up where the beaver is now.
That would be crazy. I don't think that's ever coming out, Zach.
They did a show. They did a made for TV movie or a show where Leave It to Beaver came back and it was him as an adult. I'm pretty sure I remember that from a while back. Anyway,
I saw him at Pensacon, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
console exclusives is what we're talking about.
Yes.
Should they exist or should they not exist? Now, I did run a poll prior to this a few hours ago, and
Falcon's hand just like going up, just like
yeah. I don't know what that was about. He's being summoned.
All right. I'm leaving in 15 minutes. Hard stop.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
Okay. The poll, at least the last time I refreshed this, had only 20 votes. But it's this finished a statement for the gaming industry to maintain healthy growth. I think console exclusive games are essential, are traditional, but unnecessary. Need to go the way of the dinosaur or leave a comment. 55% said that they are essential, and the other two are split there, but 30% surprisingly say they need to go the way of the dinosaur. And that kind of surprises me a little bit, but like Screenlight said, we're old and Falcon's young, so I don't maybe that's just because I'm getting old, that I think that they're essential. But I would like to hear you all's thoughts on this topic as well.
Falcon, you
go
ahead.
first, Zach.
No, go ahead, Falcon.
I'm not budging. You can go first.
Okay, so do you want my take as a gamer, or do you want me as a take on the industry as a whole?
That's what I was going to ask next.
You can give. Let's go as a. I want to hear your take on the industry as a whole. That's what I want to hear. Yeah.
So I think games as exclusive is the way to sell consoles. Without any exclusives, consoles won't sell. And one of the reasons why Xbox is having to do what it's doing right now, putting its games on more consoles, is because their console hasn't sold well the last 2 generations. PlayStation hasn't really had to fight that fight. Yes, they are putting more games on PC because they see how well that is selling over there. And look at Helldivers selling 12 million copies in the last 12 weeks. I think that is a huge look at what PlayStation games can do on PC. Yes, they stepped in some stuff with the whole PSN account linking and all of that, and I think it will take a while to get past that. But the reason why people buy consoles is because the games that are on it and their friends are playing on it. Now, not everybody is going for story-based games. A lot of people are like, oh, Johnny got an Xbox. I'm getting an Xbox so we can play. But we also are living in a generation where everything's cross-play. You can play Fortnite on your phone playing against somebody that's on a PC. Like, it's all of this kind of stuff going on right now. And I think, yes, there's some leeway here, but for first-party games, if you're PlayStation, Nintendo, you're not putting your games on Xbox or the other console. You're keeping it on yours and you're putting it on PC. Nintendo, you will never see them putting their stuff on a PC. They don't have to at this point. They fixed the mistakes that happened in the Wii U era and they're going strong. So hopefully the launch of the Switch 2, they'll keep going strong.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. I agree with that assessment. I think that Xbox, I don't even know how much of it is Phil Spencer's decision. I kind of think there's people above him forcing some of this stuff, some of these decisions.
Yeah, man's like Nolan Sorrento from IOI out here. All right. Don't mind me making a book reference.
Yeah, Nadella, which is the CEO, and Amy Hood, which is the CFO, are forcing the whole, we're putting everything everywhere we can.
Yeah, so, and you're right. So my question is kind of a chicken and the egg question: is the Xbox not selling because people don't want Xbox, or is it not selling because there aren't enough exclusives?
The problem with the Xbox is there haven't been any games. The reason why PS5 has shipped 5 times more units than Xbox is because there's actual games on the PlayStation 5. the last few years, what have we gotten? We've gotten Redfall, we've gotten Starfield, we've gotten a handful of others, and they just haven't been the big. Even Halo, which is the big game,
biggest disappointment of the generation, I think.
And it's just like, okay, we're at this point, they're having to make big decisions. Game Pass has 34 million subscribers to it. They're wanting 50, and that's why they're putting Call of Duty on there now. But yeah, the reason it doesn't sell is because there's no games.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have to agree with Zach. It's like Xbox itself with their exclusives and just games in general, they don't really have a lot of titles that they can throw on. And the games that they have been making, their AAA games, either haven't been that good, they've been a letdown, or the ones that were good, they're like, you have those once in a blue moon. So it's like it's not enough in order to keep their exclusives going for Xbox wise. However, aside from Xbox, I do think that PlayStation and Nintendo are going very strong with their exclusives, and that in their sense, they could probably keep on going. I think for Xbox, the way to go would be stretching out to other services. I don't think they should give it to Sony and to Nintendo, but if they post their stuff on PC itself, I think that would be a good idea from an industry standpoint. That's how I'm viewing it.
I personally would be okay if they just, had day one PC ports of their games. But I guess, I'm still kind of old school. Like, it's weird seeing, an Xbox game going to PlayStation or whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
a lot of the Xbox games, if you have Ultimate, 9 times out of 10, they are on PC day one.
Right.
And I think that's cool, but like you look at the whole reason they put Sea of Thieves is because people were kind of dwindling on the player count over on Xbox. So it's like it did bring a huge boost to the game. But again, there's not that many Xboxes out there.
Yeah, there's not. And a lot of the games they showed off in 2020 still haven't come out. Like we just got Hellblade 2 this weekend, and that was shown off in 2019 when they announced the Xbox Series X. And it was December 2019, so it was almost 2020, but still it was announced then with that console, and we're just now seeing it. And there's several other games that we haven't seen yet. So it's just weird. And you'll probably disagree with me on this, Zach, maybe, I don't know, but I think part of why I think you're partially right about why PlayStation 5 has sold 5 times more. I think that part of it is that they've been riding on the goodwill of the PS4 generation too, because their game output hasn't been like it used to be either.
No.
And I think a lot of that goodwill from that last generation has carried over into selling this generation. But yeah, I think that console exclusives are essential. And I think that we're going away. I think they're making they're not playing the long game here. They're playing the short game. We got to sell more now, so let's just make everything available on everything. And I think that's a big mistake, because at some point, you're just going to end up with one console or no consoles, and everything's just going to be on PC. And and then what? I mean, I don't know. I think that this is it's a quick fix, only looking at tomorrow instead of a year from now, and I don't think it's going to work. And it kind of has me concerned about the future of the industry, honestly, a little bit.
Yeah, it's like if you have to lose a bunch of weight, what's the fastest way to do it? Start chopping off your arms and legs. You're going to lose weight quick. but it's
Yeah.
not a very good it's not a very good
Not
choice in the long
exactly the
run.
That's a
Yeah.
great analogy. I like
That
that.
is a great analogy. Very visual.
Fantastic
I think
T-shirt
I think you've
idea.
been playing too many violent games. Are you sure you've only
Oh,
been
man.
playing Little Kitty Big City?
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh. Can I say my standpoint from a gamer's side of you though?
Yeah.
From a gamer's point of view, not thinking about business at all. Honestly, I get irritated when I see a game on another console and I can't play it because I don't own that console.
Like
And with
Uncharted.
consoles being so, yeah, exactly, like Uncharted. And I swear. Anyways.
Oh, wait. That was on GameCube. I forgot. Never mind.
Listen.
Yeah, ran on the original DS.
I swear, I'm literally going to send you a screenshot later today, and then you guys are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, wait, he wasn't joking." Anyways, not the point. Okay, so when I see a game on another console that I can't play because I don't own the console, especially when consoles are so expensive right now, it makes me mad.
Yeah.
And I know the game owners know that kids are not going to have money to pay for that, but they expect the adults to pay for it. Now, the family I was raised in said, "No, you go buy it yourself." So I'm like, in my point of view, I don't want there to be exclusive games because I want to go play all of them. So I do like the gamer point of view who's not thinking about any of that. I just want to be able to play it. I just want it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like a lot of other gamers feel the same way.
Those exclusives, like, that's what makes competition. And without competition, industries become stagnant and stale and they begin to die. Like, you have to have competition. And that's my concern with exclusives going away, is that if everything's on everything, then there is no competition, except for maybe like, well, it runs better on this one than this one. But if you want Xbox, you buy an Xbox. And if you want a PlayStation, you buy a PlayStation. But
I mean, that's where I went to the.
You started down the path. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was saying that's where I also came into the fact where I was saying it would be fine if Xbox itself were to just leave that competition and leave it to Sony and Nintendo to go across each other. Because I mean, like, honestly, at this point, that's what it is terrible. It is terrible, but that's what it's looking like. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
at this point,
Sarah Bond said that they're making another console. They're going ahead to make another console, so we are going to get another Xbox. But I don't want them to turn into Sega, where I know Sega is finally kind of doing a little bit better and everything, but it's taken Sega years since the Dreamcast to like actually kind of get a better footing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, if they drop off now, they're definitely not going to be coming back up anytime soon.
Well, yeah, I mean, gosh, I don't know. Just if they drop off now, they're doing about, is game wise, they're doing about as well as Sega has been doing.
It's also interesting, like the top 25 games on PlayStation, I think 17 of them were Xbox games.
Yeah,
technically, because of Activision Blizzard and all of that.
Right.
So it's like they do have a large publishing arm at this point, but they've bought so much.
Right.
So that they're kind of lucking into that. I don't know. It is concerning because Nintendo's doing their own thing. They're constantly going to be doing their own thing, and I think
they always
awesome.
have, and they always will.
Yeah. But Xbox has pushed PlayStation to be better.
Yes. And that's what's so concerning about it to me.
Because there's not going to be another console manufacturer that come into this. If Xbox leaves, it's PC, PlayStation, Nintendo, and that's it.
Well, I feel like Xbox and Sony, like they've like Microsoft and Sony, they've both made decisions that have hindered this console competition, this exclusive competition already. They've both made decisions that basically not necessarily excluded them from the competition, but basically hindered them in the fact that Nintendo, you know, when you look at Nintendo, okay, I'm only going to get Nintendo stuff over here. When you look at Xbox, you're like, okay, I might get some of this and some of that. When you look at Sony,
Mhm.
you're like, okay, I'll get some of this and some of that. You know, it's
Yeah.
like a mixture of things. Whereas Nintendo has stayed in that genre the entire time. They haven't made any exceptions at all.
Right.
So
Right.
that's why I'm saying I think Nintendo is going to permanently stay up there, and Sony has made less mistakes than Microsoft in my point of view, in this fight for exclusives. So that's what the only reason why I would say it would come down to Nintendo and Sony, and Xbox might just leave the fight. Of course,
Yeah,
we have
right.
another console, so we'll see. But
But
I honestly, from my point of view, I think Xbox is leaving, bro.
I don't. Well,
I don't think
not
Xbox.
anytime
I don't
soon.
mean
But
entirely. Yeah, not soon, but
I mean, they did say they're working on the most advanced leap, generational leap ever, or something like that. So there's going to be at least one more Xbox.
Yeah, generational leap.
But
Interesting.
I mean, it's probably going to use a lot of AI. I'm assuming.
Teraflops. The flopping everywhere.
Yeah, get the new Xbox Series
Sony,
X times 215, where the AI actually rebuilds the console into something that you'll like. No, man.
Transformer.
Transformer.
It'll play the games for you.
Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, it is.
Is Sony working on that?
Yeah, PlayStation's working on that right now.
Sony's working on that right now.
Lordy.
Just buy the game and then let the AI play it for you. You don't even have to touch the controller.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
Yeah.
That's dang. You know, if
weird.
that comes out, I might have to do a stream on that and see how AI plays the game, and then I'll give commentary based on how the AI
Can you
is
think
playing.
about that? You could just set the controller down and read the comments and just talk to people while the game plays itself.
Yo, legit, I'm about to do that while playing Fortnite. I'm gonna make AI play Fortnite for me.
Might play better.
But you know,
they might play better than me. That's what I'm scared about.
They might.
Oh my gosh. Oh
yeah,
Lordy.
Sony.
Oh my gosh.
Sony
Sorry.
doesn't care about Nintendo though. I mean, they don't care what Nintendo's doing too much, because Nintendo's just competing in a different space. And I think for a lot of people, Nintendo is either seen as your main console because you're a family and you have kids, or it's seen as a complementary console to whatever you normally play on.
Yep.
And so Sony's not worried about Nintendo taking sales from them, and they're also so Nintendo is not going to be able to push them forward because Sony doesn't care what they're doing, because they're Nintendo and they do weird things. But they used to be concerned about Xbox, and I assume they still are, at least to some degree.
Yeah.
And so if Xbox goes away, it's going to get worse than it is now. But it drives me nuts that they're making I feel like every week there's some new big news story, and I'm like, that was the wrong decision.
Yep.
But there's nothing that anybody can do about it because it's already happened. And I don't know. I'm still thinking about video ideas of how to address this as an issue.
You're like emotionally connected to the exclusives. You just don't want to see them go because then you're gonna cry.
I'm not gonna cry, but I don't want it to go away because I know the competition is good, and the only way you can have competition. The reason that Nintendo has sold 130 million Switches, and I've said this before, is because they have exclusives that are good. And Phil Spencer coming out and saying that nobody's going to buy an Xbox because we have good exclusives. If we put out a 10 out of 10 game, it doesn't mean anybody's going to buy an Xbox. Well, that is false. That is exactly why they will buy your console.
That's why people bought the Switch for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It's like the reason you're saying that is because all your exclusives suck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right. It feels
they're avoiding the issue. They're avoiding the real problem. So,
exactly.
With that comment.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't
know.
So
what's your end all be all answer here, Bo?
To what?
Are console exclusives relevant? Are they needed?
I think they're absolutely needed for the health of the industry. Yes, I think they're absolutely needed. Now, I'm like you, Falcon. As a gamer, it would be great to just have one console and be able to buy any game I want. Sure, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But my point is that as time goes on, if you could do that, as time goes on, the games that become available to you are going to get worse and worse and worse because there's no competition.
Yeah. They have no bar, so they don't have to set a bar.
Nobody's pushing the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no reason to.
Yeah.
It'll
Would be
be-
crazy though if everything just went that way and then new companies started making exclusives instead of Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo.
Well, you do have like your second party developers,
of course,
that do that, like Arrowhead.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, what if those second party producers became first party producers and then started making their own consoles and then made exclusives?
That's so much.
I know,
money.
but I'm
Like-
I'm like, don't worry. It's totally a hypothetical thought. And,
Right.
It's not realistic at all. But
So
like,
you mean like
what's in
when
my head?
KFC made that console a few years ago that kept your chicken warm while you played your game?
Well, you think about it, Stadia, Google has tried their hand at this, and yes, it was streaming, and they're
Did
streaming.
they try really though?
No, I don't think so. I feel like it was a tax write-off. And then the Oyo, as Screenlight was saying, and then you had Amazon Luna as well. So you've had people try to get into the industry, but the bar is so high that it is extremely hard. And I know it was a hypothetical, but it's very interesting because also exclusives, I feel like, help with brand identity. Like when you used to see Crash Bandicoot, what was he associated with? The PlayStation.
Yeah.
Same thing with Mario. He is the ambassador for Nintendo. Same thing with Sonic. It used to be Sonic was Sega Genesis and, so forth and so on. And Xbox Master Chief, it's like those things are brand identity things. It helps push, like, the reason why Xbox is so good is their first person shooters have always been really, really good. PlayStation's shooters have always sucked. Like, they've just been really bad. Like, I'll be honest with that. And I'm a Sony pony, but their shooters have sucked.
Yeah.
You're right. That's true. That's a good way to break it down. Yeah. Well, what's your conclusion, Falcon?
I agree with you. Because, like, you said you said it earlier, how competition is important, and like when I think about competition, like even outside of exclusivity, like for game wise, like competition drives people to do better, like in every way, shape, and form. Like it's the main reason why people actually try to further themselves, because they have a bar to set themselves to. So,
you can't go to a sporting event and watch one team compete against themselves. What fun is that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. Yes, I think they're important. I do think it is a necessity. Do I think Xbox needs to be a part of that? No. I'm still standing by.
Why are you hating on Phil?
Dude, I don't know why, bro, but dude.
You have an Xbox, man.
I know I have an Xbox, and you know what? I feel like there's nothing to play on it. I'm playing Fortnite on my Xbox, for Pete's sake. I can play that on anything else.
Who's Pete?
Yeah, leave Pete out of this.
Oh, gosh. Okay, I gotta head out, guys.
Yeah, tell us where we can find you. Time Splitters 2 was on GameCube as well as Xbox.
Xbox and PlayStation.
And it was a great game, I thought, but anyway.
Yeah.
It was
all right. Well, you guys can find me here. I'm sorry I have to leave so quick. I don't want to dip and run, but I got another meeting that I gotta make.
That's cool.
But yeah, you guys can find me here on the YouTube platform on Falcon Tactics right here. You guys can also find me on Twitter. I've been trying to post a lot more on there and like retweeting some Fortnite related things and some other gaming related things. Or if you guys are into art, I like a lot of art posts related to Pokemon because I like Pokemon art. But I don't know, you guys could look at my liked posts and see Pokemon art. Anyways, not the point. I'm also on Instagram as well. I've been posting like every single day, like my morning view, like what I see in the morning, like when I get up, like after like my first 30 minutes of being awake.
Yeah.
One time it was literally just me in my bed. I was laying there for 30 minutes. Not the point. Anyways, you guys can also find me on Twitch. I have been streaming on Twitch every time I've been streaming on YouTube now. So I normally stream Monday through Saturday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And on Wednesdays, it's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. PST. So yeah, I've been doing that. I have a 24-hour stream coming up on the 31st. So starting at 6 p.m. PST to 6 p.m. PST. So
very nice.
May into June. And that's it.
That's awesome, man. Speaking of Twitch, we're not streaming on Twitch, but we are streaming on X tonight for the first time.
Podcast
is.
Yo, we're on X?
Yeah.
Not on X.
I don't like that name.
X.
I'm over on X now. I just did that a month or so ago. I got on X and don't have too many followers yet. But
isn't X ecstasy? Isn't that a drug? You're on Expo. Do we need to have an intervention?
No, I'm talking about the social media platform.
Yeah,
the social media platform. You know, the one that didn't used to be X.
Twitter. Yeah, I'm over. It's on Twitter tonight. So you can follow me over on Twitter. Same name, Bono's Gaming YT. Somebody else was already Bono's Gaming on Twitter. So and it wasn't me.
I stole it from you just so you could never make a Twitter account.
Thanks, crazy. Guys. That means a lot. So I put a YT on the end of it for YouTube, and it's got the same logo as this channel does. But yeah, the first Time Splitters was only on PlayStation. That is absolutely right. Yes. Okay, Zach.
Yes.
Where are you, and what can we expect to find on your channel?
You can find me on YouTube, Nerd Cave Network, Instagram, Nerd Cave Network, and TikTok, Nerd Cave Network, where you'll find
someone stole your name.
You know,
dude.
You can find news. We do news each Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time, where we go through all the video game news that you need to know. We break it story by story, why it matters, and we go a little bit deeper. So you can come join us on that. Every Tuesday, I do an awesome video called Car Thoughts. I give you all my thoughts while I'm in a car. And then Tuesdays, I also stream. I hang out and play some games. Tomorrow, we're playing Fallout 76 with the community. So come and join us over there.
Nice. Very nice.
Oh, where can I find you?
Much love. 2027 X just purchased Xbox. You stay safe too, Screenlight. Thanks for joining us tonight. You can find me right here on this channel that you're watching right now.
Hey, I clicked that subscribe button. Are you proud of me?
Thank you, man. I really do appreciate that a lot.
Got you.
I'm working on kind of a variety of things right now. I've got a couple of retro handheld things I'm working on right now. Like I always seem to have something going there. I've also filmed. I've got like 4 videos I got to edit that I've already recorded, but one of them that's coming up pretty soon, probably in the next couple of days, is a tutorial on how to install RetroArch on your iPhone, which is an emulation front end for retro games. And that way you can play retro games on your iPhone. So I got a tutorial coming for that. And also I filmed something the other night where I took my MetaQuest 3 and to see if it could scan and map an entire gymnasium so that I could actually walk around and not run into a wall like I do in my home. And so I've got that coming pretty soon. Yeah. And then next week we're having a podcast. I usually don't do back-to-back weeks for the podcast, but we are this week or this next Monday night. You guys obviously are invited to be on if you're available. I would love that. But I have a special guest lined up for next week as well. And he is in the VR space with his wife. They do YouTube together, and they have been actually interviewed, I think, on the Today Show, and had a couple of other kind of bigger opportunities like that to talk about gaming and VR gaming specifically. So I'm excited to have him on, and he seems like a cool guy. So
guys, you don't want to miss
having that next week. Yeah, don't miss it.
Because I don't want to miss that.
I hope you don't. Put it in your calendar.
I will. My schedule's so sporadic. I'm trying.
That's why you
made
need
it tonight. I do. I promise.
So
Oh,
yeah.
man.
But that concludes the episode 15 tonight. So thank you all for joining us. Go check these guys out on their channel. They're awesome. Appreciate it again, guys. And stay kind and encouraging out there. And we'll catch you on the flippity flip.